Welcome Veg Champions. Today we're cooking with
courgettes. So what you need is a courgette, some garlic, some tinned tomatoes, an onion, and some herbs and spices. We have some dry basil and some thyme. And this is a great way to include the veg book because not only is it a way to become a veg hero because it has a courgette in it, but also has tomatoes and onions you can cross off your list.
So what I'm going to show you now is a little trick. You don't have to do this, but actually I think it's a really good one. It's almost like a chef's secret. A lot of people don't really like courgettes because they find they tend to go a little bit mushy when they cook them. However, with this special trick, they won't actually go mushy. They'll stay quite crisp even though you've cooked them. So what we're going to do is cut them like this into quarters, about a centimetre thick, maybe 1.5 centimetres. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to get some of the liquid out of it before we put it into the rest of the dish. So this is why we need the colander. I'm going to sprinkle it with some salt. Now don't worry about putting in quite a lot of salt because we're going to wash it off afterwards. And what that's going to do is going to draw some of the water out of the courgette, but it's going to leave all of those flavours in there. And actually I've only just started and you can start to see some of the liquid is actually already, I can get it in there, it's already starting to come out of the courgette. So now we're going to put that to one side while we get everything else ready. And then an onion, maybe one medium onion, 2 small ones. These are a bit weird because they're in between medium and small. There we go, that's ready. And we do want to get our garlic ready because the garlic goes in just after the onion and you don't want to be leaving the onion whilst you're doing the garlic, so get the garlic ready first.
So to prepare your garlic, you might want to get something like some sort of spoon or something.
Or a tin.
Or a tin.
Use the tin cap.
And just bash the garlic a few times. The peel just comes right off. Then you can get like a garlic fest or something, or maybe just press it with a spoon or cut it. So next we prepare the tomatoes. Now it's best if you have chopped tomatoes. If you don't have chopped tomatoes and you want chopped tomatoes, just put the knife in and chop it up.
So here we go, ready to cook our Courgette Provencal. So in here we're going to need a little bit of oil. And then once it's hot enough we're going to add the onions. So we'll get this a little bit hotter. So the first thing we add is just the onions, not the garlic, just the onions. And at this stage you're going to want to keep mixing because if you don't, the onions can burn quite easily. And it just takes a few minutes until they start to go translucent, that is sort of semi-transparent. Right, the onion is looking nicely cooked, so we're going to put in the garlic, and this is just literally a few minutes for the garlic. And again, keep stirring. Right, and now it's time to start adding the courgettes. And once the courgettes are added, we can worry a bit less about stirring all the time. So they've been thoroughly rinsed, and I've also dried them off a little bit with a tea towel as it happens. But you could use a tea towel, or you could use something like some kitchen roll, or you could just let them drain for a good long time. So now we're going to put in some of our herbs. We're going to put in about quarter to a half a teaspoon of thyme.
How much basil?
And about the same of basil. Just perfect. The courgettes are now well cooked, so we're going to put in the tomatoes. There we go. So now all that's left to do is to cook this for maybe even just 15 minutes, maybe a bit longer, until the courgettes, you're happy with the courgettes, because this is quite a light, fresh dish. Okay. Now what you cook this with is up to you. We're having this with spaghetti, so we didn't want too much because this is just going to go through like a doubled the quantity, so maybe 2 courgettes up to maybe 4 courgettes for a big family. Then you can actually have this as a main course. We often have this just in a bowl with some really nice bread, and that's it. Even in winter we can have it like that. So because this takes maybe 10 minutes, maybe a bit longer, what you could do now is put on some pasta, which is what we could do, and then it would be ready to go. But I actually like the flavours to mingle a bit, so what I'm going to do is, we're not going to have tea for about another half an hour. I'm going to cook this for 10 minutes, turn it off. When I've cooked the pasta and it's nearly ready, I'm just going to warm it through, and then we're ready to go. So there we go, pasta and courgette Provencal.